I met her after.
Yeah.
I met her after the film was finished, almost. Actually, we met the last day of the shoot. I didn't meet her throughout the filming process, and Sherry wanted us to sort of tell the story of a young girl in that circumstance, and so I based a lot of my thing on, the script and the book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, your own upbringing, you were from Somalia? Or?
No, I'm from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how was your upbringing different from hers? Obviously, quite a bit.
Quite a bit. I mean, I grew up in the city, which is kind of, I grew up in the capital city, so it's kind of a modern city. And I, sort of grew up watching American films, and went to a French school full of, a lot of international kids and stuff. So my coming here was not so much of a shock, culture shock, the way it was for her, who, she grew up really in the desert. And I mean, it's kind of a nomadic lifestyle, which is completely different. And when you're there, you realize how much of in their bubble they live, and they have no idea what's going on outside of their bubble, just the way we have no idea what's going on in their bubble,
Yeah.
So it was an interesting thing that we started shooting in Africa first, and we were in Djibouti in the border with nomads who were part of the in the film as well, and I think it shaped us all. It helped shape us and shape me for her, and show us who she was and what she was and where she came from, and what she woke up to every morning, and
This movie will do a lot to really, I think, open people's eyes and increase awareness of this issue. Has that happened to you? I mean, have you experienced that? Have you felt that?
It's starting its journey into Africa, our film, and I think that's where we are, waiting to see what kind of reaction we're going to be getting from there. I think throughout Europe it has opened, and we've seen the reaction of the audience, and it's been really wonderful. And people have been completely moved, and touched by the story. And I think I'm hoping that America, being the kind of country it is, and how incredibly philanthropic it is, and how women here and men as well, are so proactive, about things like that. I feel like I'm so happy that it's finally opening here, and I think there's a lot of hope.
You have your own foundation as well, which is doing a lot of wonderful things. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, the foundation actually works on maternal health, because in third world countries, one of the number one killer of women is actually childbirth.
Wow.
And because of the lack of access to basic medical care.
Wow.
Women deliver often by themselves in little huts with not even running water. And so if there's a little bit of a complication that's very easily treatable or preventable here, it will take the life of that woman.
Wow.
And there's one woman who dies every minute from it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And most of those, I think 80% of that is preventable.
What was the most trying scene for you, or moment for you in the film? One that was probably the hardest for you?
I think there were different things. I think there were different scenes that brought something else, I think, the scene with Sally when, she first discovers what it is and what it means to Waris, and how alone she is at that moment. It was, quite interesting.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. It's like you're at a precipice, and somebody sort of pushes you over, and you fall, and you have to land on your 2 feet. I think the thing with practices like this is they've been going on for so long. I don't even think anybody really knows, where it started and who's doing it and what. It just happens it's something that you don't even question anymore. It's one of those things. So you don't even question it.
Nobody stands up and goes, wait.
No, you know, it's just it's what's done, and it's normal, and it's a necessity there, because that's the only way you'll be able to get married, and marriage is the only way out, and it's the only goal in your life.
Yeah.
So it just keeps happening, you know. And until we give other choices to the women there and give them another way of life, give them help them stay in school and educate themselves and become independent on their own, I think that's when it will change. I think that's when it will just quietly dissolve.